cut down the hill that last bit. Pick that bevel running.
I do demonstration. This is my third trip to the AAW. My demonstrations are trying to make people think about other possibilities on what they can do, rather than just turning plain old bowls. I like them to explore the possibilities of some carving and different shapes. It was my daughter who first came home. She trained as an art teacher, and she got a degree in fine arts. And she came home and she said, I want to make some donuts, can you teach me how to make the donuts? So we went to the workshop and we made the first pair we made, they were her donuts for an exhibition. A donut is a very pleasing form. I do make donuts that just interlock together, and I find that a very pleasing form. You don't try and copy what you pick up. I tell my students, it's a matter of keeping your eyes open and looking for what's out there and what interests you. What I'm trying to do with them is to show them how to do it, but also make those people think about the possibilities that they could develop themselves. And so if someone comes up to me at the end of a demonstration and says, I really enjoyed that, my head is full of different ideas, well, I think I've done a good job. And being a teacher, you tend to be very giving with your design, so I do like to pass on those messages that I've learnt. I'll pass it on to other people. I don't think there should be any secrets in woodwork, and with me there's not. I'm happy to share with the people of the world.
I'm Dale Larsen. I'm president of the American Association of Woodturners. Our organization is an educational organization dedicated to teaching woodturning and promoting the art to the wider world. And it's the largest woodturning event each year in the world. We're not a physical community, but we are a community. We are I want to say family, or a big family. Anybody can come and look at the vendor show, or you can go in and buy wood turning tools, lathes, wood, and related products.
One of the facets of our symposium, in fact, consistent with the Articles of Incorporation of the AAW, is our interest in spreading the awareness about wood turning. We select a different city across the country every year, allowing people the creativity to express their interpretation.
Everybody coming to the symposium can bring 3 pieces of artwork, and we put them out there. Everybody can go look at them, and it's probably the best part of the show, and you just keep walking through there looking at all this beautiful turned art.
A lot of people don't understand wood. They think of it as a bowl to eat from, or a spoon, or something utilitarian, but they don't think of it as an art form. I think of it as another language. You can feel music and it's telling you something. A dance is an expressive movement. The piece will be expressive enough, somebody will see something, maybe not what I saw in it, but something that reminds them of something else.
If you go back 25 years ago, you will see more simple turnings. What you're seeing now as we go forward is somebody will turn an object, and then they may carve on the object, or they may burn on the object, or they may paint the object, or cut it apart and reassemble it. And that will be kind of a historical point. We will look back and focus and take an evaluation of where we have been and where we should go. It runs roughly 4 days. 14 rooms of classes all the way from turning spindles, turning bowls, turning hollow forms, and then some classes on how to market your work, how to do design, If you want to go into the classrooms and take the classes, then there would be a fee attached to that. And that's the best part of the symposium, is that personal contact.
The drill press I have it's actually...
What we give consideration to is what needs do our members have and how do we best fulfill them. That we have professionals and those that aspire to be professionals. And so we also provide that opportunity through the selection of demonstrators that may bring more diverse skills and techniques.
Cut through the masking tape to create the reset.
I've been to the AAW Symposium 27 times, and learning from people and seeing how they do things and then going home and trying it. And when you create a body of work, the idea is to take a concept and do something, and then do something different from that. A lot of work based on the same idea but different. Most of them are decorated with cultural symbols, and they tell a story about the culture, about the history of the people, about yourself, who you are, what you believe in, what you do, and things like that.
I like nature. I like being outside. I like wood, just the look of wood. I like to do a lot of different things. A lot of it all is sort of natural, natural looking pieces. I don't do a lot of coloring or embellishing, and I tend to like a little bit of natural feel. And I like the wood to look like wood. Got a little lump in the bottom. A lot of people have trees that are meaningful, because I had a big oak tree that I had planted with my father back when I was in junior high school. My dad had passed away several years before that, so I kind of cut up some wood and saved some of that tree. So I've got several bowls and platters and different things from that tree that was planted, that we're saving something that is beautiful for people to see in the future, or give away for people to enjoy. Kind of coming into here.
I started doing functional pieces. I was a production turner, baby rattles, rolling pins, small boxes, small bowls, things like that. At the time I do these pieces, I'm more driven to do them, not so much knowing why. And then with some time, some years, I look back and I can see the relationship between the work itself and the emotions I was going through at the time. A lot of my work is put out in the weather to age for 2 years. The rain, the sun, the wind creates a silver patina. When I take one of these vessel forms and cut into it, I'm exposing the past of that piece of wood itself.
On the interior.
My work has always kind of reflected my life throughout the years. Oftentimes I didn't realize it at the time until I look back in the past. There was a time when I was married, my daughter was born, and I had my work showed rising like wings, like flight, like there was a lot of hope and a lot of growth that way. Then I went through a divorce and the death of my wife, so I was expressing myself emotionally through the work itself. It was no longer about the pretty wood, it was more about a surface that I could express myself.
I did a demo a couple years ago, and I said, I don't change the drill bits that often. This one guy said, well, why not? 3 drill bits in the first minute. I said,
I really do like designing it. That's my aspect that I like the best, designing it. It's the design that's going to look well on there. It's usually the piece of wood that I look at that dictates to me what's going to go on it. And then I looked at it and I said, oh, flowers, just flowers. And I just love doing the flowers, and they just go around and they talk to them, and one flows right into the next. And then I had to finish it off with a little bow, and we have a little stand, and we put it on there.
My wife was a decorator, and I was making segmented pieces. We started working together, making pieces. I have had very, very figured pieces of wood. When I look at that piece, I said, I could make a bowl from that, but it doesn't want to be a bowl. And then I would look back at it and I would say, it might want to be a bowl And we have found that the way wood looks in certain cases, we make certain things with that. When I'm turning a piece of wood, I listen to it more, especially when I'm turning thin, because the sound of what it's doing tells me exactly what is going on with that piece of wood. And I hear all of it, and then also the sense of touch. And you can say, I missed this. Every piece of wood is different. Every piece of wood is interesting, has its own character. It's like looking at people. This one is lighter than this one. They are both people, but yet they are different individuals. And wood is the same way.
I cut all the way to the bottom with one. Can you see what I did? I went all the way to the bottom, because what I did now is I established for my second.
It's a never-ending learning process. Wood turning has changed so much and is continuing to change. And even though I've been turning all these many years, every time I turn almost, and especially when I come to something like this, I learn new things. Forum yesterday, the input from the audience and from my fellow panelists was amazing to hear some of the stories, and the one fellow was in tears a lot. He just recovered from cancer, and I assume is surprised to be alive, and that's why he was so emotional. It's good to see not the fact that he's that way, but that he's still alive and he's still wood turning.
There's a lot of people out there.
The other group that we had was the veterans and turning with disabilities along with blind. These people all mostly have mobility. They're in wheelchairs. Wally Dickerman, who is 93 years old, he's been turning 78 years, can't stand as much anymore, and he talked about what it takes to turn. Another guy who had polio, who can't stand, and how he's adjusted his lathe. We had another veteran from the Vietnam War who has both physical and mental problems from the war. It's just, wood turning can be for anybody, and the group showed that.
And so I searched and searched and searched, and that basically kind of boiled down to what's your passion.
My career was, I was in healthcare. During the Vietnam War, I was a medic in the Army. You know, saw many people die, and it's hard for a person to see that. I knew that I felt different after that. I went to a neurosurgeon because I'd injured my spine, and he said, look, you can't work anymore. You absolutely cannot continue working at a desk or standing up. I believe that things can get better. I started reading books. What I derived from that was find what you are passionate about. I'd been working with wood since I was a young boy. That was my passion. So I decided that I would pursue wood turning.
Some of the stories and how people have overcome their disabilities is it's pretty inspirational, really. And people that can do that can survive something like that and then go back to doing what they love to do. That's wonderful and inspirational. And he's had to overcome that, the mental part of that, and some physical part, probably.
Now when I turn off my lathe, I'm feeling good. I don't walk outside and look at the blue sky and think it was a day like this when all those people were killed in Oklahoma City. I just think it's a beautiful day that I've been given, you know, which is a big difference. I helped in the youth class, I helped with the blind, and we're starting a program in the Phoenix Lighthouse for the blind for wood turning.
It was 4 years ago in Hartford. We had our annual symposium. I was in the incident gallery, and I noticed a young blind woman with a man in tow walking around the incident gallery. So I went and got that, and I put it in her hands. And she had quite a reaction. if we have blind people, they cannot get much out of an event like ours. What if we put on a special event for people where they could come in and they could handle the pieces, which they're not normally allowed to do?
Turn this over, and they've etched in, looks like a gecko.
We did this in Tampa. Andy and Ellen have set up a program with the Tampa Lighthouse for the Blind. They have 40 people in this program. It's their most popular program. And these people are making pens, and this is a start.
We're going to go slow. 90-degree, and the way you aim this tool is, you can see how I've done this in terms of the height of the tool rest. Remember I said it goes up and down and in and out. Right. So you pretty much want the cutting edge of this tool centered right in the middle of where you're going. This hand keeps it steady in terms of up and down. Okay. And then this hand is the one that pretty much...
The pen section, which had the pens from the Lighthouse from Tampa, and to show them that this is what blind folks can do. When you're disabled, your world becomes very small, and this increases your world.
Probably through the ACBVI, the Blind Center. You know, they go online, they find out a bunch of things and stuff, more activities. They asked me, you know, and some of the clients there, and I said, oh yeah. I was kind of scared at first because, you know, operating tools like this, are you kidding me? You know, but it's really kind of cool though.
Pretty good, isn't it? Huh?
Well, I thought it was neat that they took us in there. They have it set up for children, from what I understand. That they have these little kits that they can put together. They can actually do this themselves. These are these little kids, but it's safe enough for the kids to do. You know, it's one thing watching it on TV, but to get hands-on like this, it's just...
It's kind of scary because you are visually impaired or totally blind. You kind of shut everything else out and you kind of get one with the machine and you learn how to gently feel it. And it was kind of rough, you know, not painful rough. And start feeling how the wood is starting to take shape to what you want it to be for the pen. I really, really enjoyed that. Some of it, like I said, it's just amazing how it doesn't even feel like wood. Once in a lifetime dream to me, you know, it's just, I don't think it'll be a once in a lifetime thing now, you know.
The plain side is what's going to go into your pen barrel. Walk up and around. This one? Yeah. Whichever way you're going. Okay.
The most challenging thing here was coming here, worrying about what is going to happen, you know, what kind of tools, you know, and knowing that I'm not going to be able to do this anymore. They made it amazing that we can do stuff like this.
You watch their faces when they finish making a pen and you know you've done something good. They're not capable of doing anything, and then they find that they can.
The manufacturers reject wood that is imperfect, that it has, you know, a crack in it or a bug hole or some imperfection with it, and I can use the wood or work around that imperfection and make these kind of pieces. So you'll notice the walls.
We went to the gallery session and had them go through the bowls, and they were able to go over and feel all the bowls, the different textures of the wood, feelings of the wood. We got different wood artists tell us about their pieces with the different tactile feels, and the ones that were partially sighted were able to see all the different grains and imagine what they could do someday. And it was a nice introduction to wood.
If you look at the exhibitions we have and listen to what people say when they see these top-of-the-line pieces, then you understand that wood turning is a very rewarding and satisfying thing for many people. So that's why we do it.
Let's Mike, and we will see you later today. We'll see you back here, okay?
Individuals here as old as 90, 93, and we have youth in our youth program that are as young as 10. The youth are very, very important for us. We understand the need to invest in young people, to provide the opportunity for them. We are the people that will help them develop their skills.
And then it will wedge so tight and things get really exciting. And I don't like exciting. I like things just to kind of be really pretty and soft.
Since AAW goes to a different location every year, we get a lot of exposure to new people.
Last year, last couple of years has been called Empty Bowls, where everybody coming to this symposium or any member can send wooden bowls to the symposium and they sell them. This year they have selected what's called Seeds for Autism, and that money stays here in the local community. All the money we raise will go to that program.
The Seeds for Autistic program is locally based in Phoenix. It was started by a lady by the name of Mary Ann LaRoche, and one of her family members had autism. The way it works is wood turners from around the world make bowls. Bowls of small bowls, large bowls, whatever, and then they bring them, they donate them. We put them out on the tables and people come purchase them. They're $25 for a bowl. And we have bowls from very famous artists around the world that people have purchased for $25, which is a great deal. We took that money into a local store here in town called Woodcraft to purchase some tools and equipment for Seeds. In addition to wood turning at Seeds, they also do a lot of other things to basically get young adults that have autism to learn skills and crafts. And when you work with these kids and you watch them, just the smile on their face and when they learn, so you want them to have a good experience every day. People who come in, people who are wood turners, or people who are just visiting just to come in to these exhibits, buy the bowls. In addition to wood turners, of course, and of course the wood turner could turn the bowl themselves, but that's not really the purpose. The purpose is to support a charity. Well, it's again, it's a great symposium. The AAW does a great job putting it on. There's world-class people that are teaching, they're good at it, and they share with you what you have. So people just get behind, and then it just really snowballs after that. It helps them move on with their life.
Turning is an international event, and the more we get exposure to different tools, the different ways that people are doing things, the better off we all are. And it breaks down stereotypes, it breaks down all the barriers, and it's just another way to communicate and become one world.
With every city that we visit, we do try to reflect the influence of the local culture. And rising was a very intuitive and I think a natural choice for us. And this was reflected in the incredible diversity of the art. Is our interest in spreading the awareness about wood turning.
It's our religion. I tell people my philosophy of life is I'm in favor of more wood turning anytime, anywhere, by anyone. More wood turning. I'm in favor.